Welcome to our podcast dive into decentralized exchanges, DEX, where crypto trading meets direct peer-to-peer connectivity.
Absolutely. It's all about skipping the middleman and taking control of your own funds, right?
Yep, that's right. Instead of trusting a bank or centralized entity, DEXs let you trade straight from your wallet. It's a whole new
Spot
landscape in
on.
crypto.
And the use of smart contracts is, really interesting here. They basically enable all the trades to happen automatically with no human intervention.
Exactly. The contracts are self-executing, so you set everything up in code and the trade goes through based on predetermined conditions.
Right.
Kind of like having your own digital vending machine that never takes a break.
That's a neat way to put it. It really transforms the idea of custody because you're always controlling your private keys, which in turn means you hold the power over your assets, correct?
Exactly. On DEX, you're your own bank. You log in with your wallet, and as long as you have the private key, your crypto is right there with you. No
Yeah,
need for
indeed.
extra identification or personal info.
Now, one of the big innovations that helped these decentralized platforms become popular was the introduction of automated market makers, right?
Yep. AMMs were essentially created to solve liquidity problems. They do away with the traditional order book matching by using liquidity pools, where, well, users deposit assets to facilitate trades.
Very clever. And isn't it interesting how liquidity providers earn fees from every trade executed in that pool? It's like earning dividends on your crypto holdings.
For sure, it's like depositing funds into a shared pot and then getting a piece of every transaction that goes on. But of course, there's the risk of impermanent loss if one of the assets fluctuates, right?
Exactly right. And that impermanent loss can be a real downside if the market swings unpredictably.
Yeah.
Not to mention the slippage that happens when there isn't enough liquidity for larger orders.
Slippage is when you have to pay a bit extra because the order gets executed at a different rate due to lower liquidity. It's a common challenge with AMMs.
But there's also the option of using order book DEX, which try to mimic the traditional trading floor, right?
Yep, order book DEXs compile lists of buy and sell orders. And while they do offer that familiar trading experience, they sometimes struggle with liquidity compared to their AMM counterparts.
Right, I see. And there are even DEX aggregators that combine liquidity from several sources to optimize the trade, ensuring you get the best possible price.
Yes, aggregators are like the ultimate deal finders. They scan multiple decentralized platforms to give you improved token prices, lower fees, and minimize slippage. It's like having
Absolutely.
multiple shops to choose from on a busy market street.
Now, while all these features are sustainable, I do wonder about some challenges. For example, is it really a fair trade-off having to rely on smart contracts that, though audited, still might carry vulnerabilities?
That's a valid concern. Even with thorough audits, smart contracts can contain bugs. And if a
True.
bug goes undetected, it can hurt liquidity providers and traders alike.
Especially since these contracts are public. Anyone can comb through the code looking for potential exploits.
Right. And the decentralization of the platform means there's no central authority to immediately fix issues if something goes awry, leaving users to absorb the risk.
On the flip side, though, there's a strong upside with DEX, like the fact that they offer complete anonymity. There's no need for KYC procedures, which for many users is a huge plus.
Exactly, no personal data required. Exactly. And that anonymity is a double-edged sword, though, because while it increases privacy, it also opens the door to scams and rug pulls where dishonest projects might dump tokens abruptly.
Right, the very nature of allowing any token on a platform comes with the risk of fraudulent projects slipping through.
Yeah, and that's why diligent research becomes even more critical. Traders need to really vet the projects by reading white papers, checking audits, and engaging in community discussions before making moves.
Definitely, absolutely. It's a whole paradigm shift. Whereas with centralized exchanges, the platform vets the tokens. Here you're on your own guard.
Exactly. You're responsible for every move. And while DEXs definitely reduce counterparty or custody risks, since you're not entrusting your funds to an intermediary, there's the learning curve involved in managing one's own wallet securely.
Speaking of wallets, the whole process of connecting a compatible wallet, funding it with the correct tokens, and managing network fees can be a bit technical, right?
Yeah, it is. You need to be aware of which network you're on, the correct native token for that network, and make sure you don't accidentally send funds to the wrong destination.
That's tricky. Exactly. And sometimes the fees, especially on networks like Ethereum when it's congested, can be pretty steep, making trading on DEX more expensive than users might anticipate.
Absolutely. Even though the idea is to remove extra fees from intermediaries, the underlying blockchain transaction fees can still add up.
And then we also have the newer innovations like flash loans. That's an interesting phenomenon where you take a loan and repay it all in one transaction, right?
Precisely. It's like borrowing money without collateral for that split second, provided you pay it back immediately. It's a creative use of smart contracts that you just wouldn't see in a traditional finance setting.
Yeah, that's wild. However, I have to challenge one idea here. While DEX are pushing innovation forward, they can sometimes be seen as too complex for the average user. Would you agree that this complexity might hinder widespread adoption?
That's a fair point. The technical know-how required to properly use DEX definitely acts as a barrier for some.
Exactly.
Compared to the simplicity of centralized exchanges, DEXs demand a bit more learning and caution.
And sometimes that extra complexity might discourage newcomers who are not willing to spend extra time learning about wallet security and transaction fees.
Right. Though on the flip side, there's a whole community and ample educational resources gradually making it easier for users to understand these tools.
Yeah, absolutely. The evolution of DEX over time is impressive. From their inception in 2014 to now offering features like margin trading and lending.
Exactly, they've come a long way. Initially, DEXs were pretty rudimentary, but now they provide a full suite of financial services like leverage trading and even liquidity mining.
Right on. And it's exciting to see how decentralized finance is still innovating in ways that traditional finance would never have envisioned.
Definitely, it's like a playground for innovation, creative, disruptive, and continuously evolving. As long as users stay informed and cautious, DEX offer a powerful alternative to centralized financial systems.
Yeah, exactly. Quite a journey through the decentralized finance landscape we had today. From smart contracts to liquidity pools, order books and aggregators, it's truly reshaping crypto trade dynamics. Thanks for the insightful discussion.